What's going on, everybody? C4 here. Welcome back to today's video. Good morning. Because in the dying moments of the morning, I think this dropped at like 3 a.m. my time, like 2 a.m. Eastern, 3 a.m. Eastern. Antonio Brown has been traded to the Raiders. So we need to start off by saying, obviously we made a Buffalo Bills video. That was fake news. Secondary, all you Raider fans out there, Black Hole, what's up? Congratulations, you get yourself Antonio Brown. Thirdly, look at the compensation. The Pittsburgh Steelers. Okay, well, it sounds better this way. The Oakland Raiders traded a third and a fifth for Antonio Brown. And, obviously Antonio Brown's value, I think, diminished a little bit since the whole Buffalo Bills debacle. Because not only did he come off as, kind of entitled, you also saw, the report that he wants a raise. He wants to get paid, $20 million, something like that a year, which is crazy. That is really, really crazy for a guy that's in his scenario, I guess. But if you're going to the Raiders, they do have a lot of money. They could probably move things around. A little bit surprising seeing how they handled the Khalil Mack scenario, that they're willing to just, flop out all that bucks for Antonio Brown. But it makes sense, and we'll kind of hit on that point in just 1 second, because it was the tweet that I made. I made a tweet probably 2 days ago, after all this stuff with the Buffalo Bills came out as fake news, in stating, the Raiders are the next logical choice. And then, you're able to back it up. There's a workout video where he was wearing black and silver, and, a guy like Antonio Brown with a social media presence is going to, troll and tease and little stuff like that. But ultimately, it makes sense for him to go to the Raiders, because the Raiders are going to be moving to Las Vegas. And when you move to Las Vegas, you're going to need stars, or else the team's not going to work. They're going to have a very, very fair weather fan base. And we don't have guys that can attract people in, because there's always a lot of people in Las Vegas. I feel like, do people even live in Las Vegas? You're just going to have a lot of neutral fans more often than not that are just visiting. They're there for vacation. They're to gamble. And if you don't have name power, it's going to hurt the value. It's going to hurt the appeal of this franchise early on. And when you look currently at the Raiders roster, not a lot of star power. You had Marshawn Lynch, but he's a star in Oakland. He's not a star in Las Vegas, and he might not even be there next year. You got Derek Carr. Is he a franchise quarterback? He's not a franchise quarterback. You look at the defense, there's some underrated guys on this team. Don't get it twisted, but there's no stars whatsoever. A guy like Antonio Brown's got to help them out. Sure, he's a little bit older, but, he got himself that new deal. He's going to be locked up there for 3 years, $50 million. Makes sense. $30 million guaranteed. Makes sense. But it's more about, I think, the Las Vegas move long term. They're thinking long term about this move, not just what Antonio Brown can hopefully help them do next year. I mean, here's my hypothetical crazy scenario: is that Derek Carr, I personally think Derek Carr can still put it all together, and a guy like Antonio Brown, he had Amari Cooper. You can't compare Amari Cooper to Antonio Brown. Antonio Brown is vastly the superior wide receiver, so it's the best wide receiver Derek Carr's ever had to throw to in his career by far. I mean, you might have to go back to college when he's throwing to Devontae Adams. So maybe when you look at Derek Carr's contract, he got paid that franchise QB contract. They have it out next year. It's one of those things that they cut Derek Carr this year, it's $25 million against the cap. They cut him next year, it's $5 million hit. So next year, it's feasible to move on from Derek Carr. So, maybe if the whole Josh Rosen trade thing, the Cliff Kingsbury and Kyler Murray thing doesn't happen at pick number 1, at pick number 4, I mean, you could look at Dwayne Haskins, who should be available, but it seems like for John Gruden, you want stars, you need name power, draft Kyler Murray at 4, have him sit behind Derek Carr this year, or maybe do a little bit of a Baker Mayfield thing where he sits and then eventually midseason he takes over as the starter. You sign and you trade and sign Antonio Brown, sign Le'Veon Bell in free agency. You have 3 megastars going into the Las Vegas move next year. 2021 season, right? That's when they move in. 3 megastars. Those are guys that are going to put asses in the seats. Those are guys that are going to be a marketing tool to have this Raiders franchise now in Las Vegas be successful right out the rip. It's all about big names. That is definitely something to keep in mind, because ultimately from an owner, it's everyone thinks it's John Gruden's team, right? But maybe Mike Mayock. Shout out to Mike Mayock, who's one of the best, got things going on NFL Network. But it's ultimately going to come down to, Al Davis's weird looking son. And Mark Davis is going to be telling them, man, we're gonna need some names. We are going to need some names. You put asses in the seats to finish selling all these pre-sale season tickets. Marcel Aitman and P.J. Hall aren't going to do it. They're Mr. Gruden. They're Mr. Mayock. But guys like Antonio Brown, guys maybe hypothetically like Kyler Murray, you have 3 first-round picks. You could afford to be risky with the QB1 if you decide to go Kyler Murray at 4, if he's even available at number 4. You go get Le'Veon Bell. You know there's going to be great chemistry between him and Antonio Brown. They're friends. You know it's a massive need. You know you have the money. So it's a risky strategy. I definitely want to hear Raider fans' opinion on it because ultimately, like, would you be comfortable signing all that money? Would you be comfortable taking the risk of Kyler Murray? Would you be comfortable having that uneasiness at the quarterback spot versus just committing to Derek Carr and building the offense around him? Because, hey, you know, there's a chance that if you ended up doing the Kyler Murray thing, but you also got Antonio Brown, Le'Veon Bell, maybe one other big-name free agent, that those are the kind of guys that could, you know, succeed and you know, elevate Derek Carr and get him to that franchise QB level that we saw 2-3 years ago before I kind of feel like after he broke his leg, he doesn't look like the same type of quarterback. So definitely want to hear Raider fans' thoughts on this, thoughts on signing Antonio Brown in general. But knowing your team, you're probably pretty pumped about it. And ultimately, Antonio Brown does seem kind of like, from an attitude standpoint, historically, what the Raiders like to go for. And I guess we all could just hope at the end of the day, it doesn't turn into another Randy Moss scenario. So, yeah, there we go. This is okay. Okay, let's start. I kind of wish it would have happened at a better time because, hey, how about don't make moves that happen at like 3 a.m. Eastern? But still pretty cool. So thank you guys for watching. As always, your first time stopping by, don't be afraid to hit that subscribe button where we're doing these type of reaction videos, grading videos for every big name signing throughout the week because the next week is going to be very, very busy. So I'll catch you back here on the channel then, and I'll see you then. Peace out.